Welcome, everybody. Come on in and sing along. Every voice is welcome here on the daily antidote of song. And we're gonna keep on moving forward, note by note and line by line, even when the times are tough. We're gonna do it one song at a time.
Welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song, day 1812. Thank you, Aileen, for welcoming us so warmly, indeed, one song at a time. And thank you for Aaron for teching for us today and doing the sound. Welcoming everybody from Facebook and from YouTube Live. And hello in the room. We have Susan from Cincinnati, Nancy, hello, Marion from Brighton, Marcia from Ontario, Benet in Berkeley, California, Linda in Orcas Island, hello, Nan Hogan in Michigan, Neil in Boston, Susan Miller in Seattle, Carolyn Boys with beautiful daffodils, Ruth in Birmingham, UK, Anne in Silver Spring, Maryland, hello folks, Julie in Ontario, Brian Forist, greetings Sheila in Florida, Bonnie in Boise, Idaho, David and Elsie in Oaktown, Kathleen in Albuquerque. Greetings to you, Trish in Victoria, Sarah in Texas, Cricket and Adele. Moving on, greetings to Adele. Oh, we've said Aloysius in Massachusetts. Somebody with a huge daffodil. Oh, there we go, Linda, San Rafael, with an enormous daffodil reminding us of spring. And Joe is on the move, joining us from Florida, I believe, and Ariana is in LA. Well, greetings to Susan Bell and Bob Lee, Maggie in California. My pictures are moving as people are being admitted into the room, but Arlene Baxter, Caroline Quant, Phil in Totnes, Athena, and if I've missed anybody here, we will catch you on the way out, but greetings and welcome everybody. And for those of you who joined us a few minutes late, we had a beautiful welcome song from Aileen, who is going to share two songs with us. And Aileen, do you want to lead us, tell us a little bit about the first song that you're going to sing for us? Yes. And get us to sing with you, and then take us into it.
Thank you, Namvala. It's so good to see you again. It's been, I don't know, it feels like years, but I know it's been at least months since I've seen Namvala, and it's so good to see so many people in the room this morning. I have two songs for you today. I'm going to sing, this first one is a zipper song, and we'll sort of warm up together and sort of ease into the morning. Well, for me it's morning. I guess for Namvala it's almost evening, and for the rest of you it's midday. So thank you so much for joining us here. This is a zipper song inspired by Bishop Budde, and your part and the whole song goes like this. So I'll teach it to you and then we'll sing it together. We've got a need for healing right now, right now. We've got a need for healing in this world. So many people are hurting. There's so much sorrow and pain. So let your words of healing be spoken. And that's the whole song. We're going to sing that together again. We've got a need for healing. We've got a need for healing right now, right now, right now. Healing. We've got a need for healing in this world. So many people are hurting. So many people are hurting. So much sorrow and pain. So let your words of healing be spoken. Let's try that all with kindness. We've got a need for kindness right now, right now. We've got a need for kindness in this world. So many people are hurting. There's so much sorrow and pain. So let your words of kindness be spoken. Compassion. We've got a need for compassion right now, right now. We've got a need for compassion in this world. So many people are hurting. There's so much sorrow and pain. So let your words of compassion be spoken. Mercy. We've got a need for mercy right now, right now. We've got a need for mercy in this world. So many people are hurting. There's so much sorrow and pain. So let your words of mercy be spoken. I discovered that if you change the word that you insert in the verse, it kind of flips the song on its side. So I tried it with outrage. We've got a need for outrage right now, right now. We've got a need for outrage in this world. So many people are hurting. There's so much sorrow and pain. So let your words of outrage be spoken. Let's go back to healing. We've got a need for healing right now, right now. We've got a need for healing in this world. So many people are hurting. There's so much sorrow and pain. So let your words of healing be spoken. Let your words of healing be spoken.
Thank you, Aileen, so much for bringing those words, those simple and yet so profound and powerful and needed and necessary words into our space today. You mentioned Bishop Marion Budde. You are wearing a t-shirt that I believe it's hidden by your guitar, but I think I was given a little yes. Could you talk to us a bit more about the song, about what moved you to write the song and what's moving you to wear the t-shirt?
Yes, the t-shirt says, "Be merciful to the stranger, for we were all once strangers in this land." And it's part of the invocation that and plea that Bishop Budde spoke to President Trump on the day of his inauguration, and I was very inspired by that. This song that I just sang, that you all sang with me, and I so wish I could hear everyone's voices on that. It's so wonderful to see everyone singing along, and this crowd, boy, people start to really get into it, and they start to send messages to one another and hold up signs and flowers, and it's just so heartwarming to see that. That's healing for me, so thank you everyone for that. This song actually came out of the other song that I want to share with you today. I was very inspired, and I want to welcome a new friend to the Daily Antidote of Song. My friend Brian Forist is here, coming in from Indiana, and he is a former park ranger. The second song that I want to share with you today, he inspired. And as I was writing that song, I had a bridge in it that included the words of Bishop Budde. And I realized that's a different song. So I took the bridge out of that song, which I was inspired by Brian, who's with us today, and I made a new song out of that. I made the Zipper song out of that. So it was really amazing for me to sort of go through this process of these two people who inspired me so much by their words and their actions, who I felt speaking to me and inspiring me to just keep singing. And I heard these two lyrics and these two melodies, and I was just kind of struggling with both of them and trying to honor both of those inspirations. So that first song came out of the other song I want to share with you today. So it was really piecing together these two amazing people who are speaking truth to power. So.
And do you want to tell us a little bit about the what exactly your friend, who we are so graced to have in the room? We don't often have the muses in the
there
space.
He is. Yeah, Brian.
Brian Forist.
So good to see you. So good to see you. And there's Warren too. And both Warren and Brian are National Park Rangers. I believe Warren is still working as a National Park Ranger. Brian is a former Park Ranger, hopes to work again as a Park Ranger, and I believe they also were marching today at the Dunes National Monument in Indiana, one of our national monuments that is so important. The land, the history of our people, all these beautiful national monuments that we have tell us who we are, tell us about the history of the land and the people that we have with us. So I'm so nervous and excited that you're both here. This is so exciting to me. So I heard Brian say, the resistance is strong, the resistance is fierce, the resistance is joyful. And I was so inspired by that, and by all the work that people like Brian and Warren do to preserve our history, our stories, our names, who we are, how we identify, all of those things. And I just wanted to honor that, and I also wanted to have a song that we could all sing together. So this song's called We're Gonna Rise, and the verses are call and response, but anytime you feel like joining in on a verse, you just go ahead and do that. So the response line is, we're gonna rise, and then it goes, we're gonna rise, then it goes back to, we're gonna rise. And the chorus goes like this. We will fight with all our power. We will shout it to the skies. We are fierce and we are joyful. We're gonna rise. We are fierce and we are joyful. We're gonna rise. Let's try that together. We will fight. We will fight with all our power. We will shout it to the skies. We are fierce and we are joyful. We're gonna rise. We are fierce, we are joyful. We're gonna rise. When you try to rule with hatred, we're gonna rise. That's your part. When you sign your bold decrees, we're gonna rise. When you try to erase every story, every trace of who we are and who we can be, we're gonna rise, we're gonna fight, and we will fight with all our power. We will shout it to the skies. We are fierce and we are joyful. We're gonna rise. We are fierce and we are joyful. We're gonna rise. When you play the naked emperor, we're gonna rise. Strip the land of all its names, we're gonna rise. For the mountains and the canyons, for the rivers and the seas, for the forests and the plains, we're gonna rise. And we will fight with all our power. We will will shout it to the skies. We are fierce, we are joyful, we're gonna rise. We are fierce, we are joyful, we're gonna rise. And we will not walk in fear, we're gonna rise. We'll not bow down to your orders, we're gonna rise. For all the hungry children yearning to breathe free, for those waiting at the borders, we're gonna rise. And we will fight with all our power, we will shout it to the skies. We are fierce, we are joyful, we're gonna rise. We are fierce, we are joyful, we're gonna rise. You can try to crush our dignity, we're gonna rise. Mock our bodies or our choices, we're gonna rise. For our history, for our people, for every living thing, for the strength in all our voices, we're gonna rise. Last time now, we will fight with all our power, we will shout it to the skies. We are fierce, we are joyful, we're gonna rise. We are fierce, we are joyful, we're gonna rise. We are fierce, we are joyful, we're gonna rise.
Oh, Aileen, thank you for bringing that into the room. I feel like we need to invite Brian into the room very briefly. I
That
think
would
that
be
would be
wonderful. Yes,
right
Brian
and
and
wonderful.
Warren, come into the
And
room.
it would be lovely to hear and impactful to hear what you thought about the song and maybe give us a few words of wisdom, because I particularly love that thing of the resistance can be joyful. You know, we think of resistance as being a weighty, heavy thing. And I think especially in my generation, you know, we sometimes can't see a way forward and we feel lost amongst all the, you know, all the everything of everything. And I think this thing of, I might get a t-shirt printed, the resistance is joyful. I think this might be my new mantra. And Aileen, your song just brought that. It brought the you know, the fierceness, but also the joy. And I think that that's just wonderful. And Brian, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Sure. Well, first, thank you. And thank you, Aileen. It's beautiful. And it's been really fun and empowering to be chatting with you across the country as this song has been coming into being. And it's so nice to see you. Those words that Aileen took the inspiration from, I think I posted to social media the day that the T and Q had been removed from Stonewall National Monument's website, basically erasing trans people and queer people from that site that commemorates the beginning of the contemporary LGBTQ plus rights movement in the United States. And Warren and I both, as park rangers, I now teach at Indiana University, where I'm sort of training the next generation of park rangers. We feel like we have the responsibility to be the nation's storytellers, and that to tell those stories, we've got to be honest. And honesty requires telling the story, particularly of trans women of color at Stonewall. Also being involved in queer communities. Warren and I have both been to some of the LGBTQ outdoor summits, which are just these wonderful groups of people. We know that queer resistance is going to happen, and it's going to have some flair to it. And that's the joy piece, that we can count on queer folks in the throes of incredible oppression and erasure, can still find joy. And I find that outdoors as well. So that's where it came from. And
Mm.
for someone to take some words and do something so beautiful makes me just so proud to know Aileen.
I'm gonna cry now.
I'm
I
feeling
wish,
tearful too, so
you know, one
don't
of
worry.
the amazing things about the daily antidote of song, among many things, is this fact that here we are, Namvalas in Oxford, UK.
Yeah.
Brian and Warren are in Indiana, and I'm in Santa Cruz, California, and we're all connected. And I just feel like I want to reach out and hug all of you, all three of you, and all of you in the room too. There's so much of what Brian just said that touches me so deeply. There are so many ways right now. The message coming out of the White House is to erase stories, history, place names, everything that you have both been working so hard for, you know, to be able to tell the stories. When you go to a national monument, you want to know what happened there. You know, why is this our national monument? If it's whether it's the house of Alice Paul in Washington D.C., who led the suffragists movement and helped to get the vote for women here in this country, or you know, Alcatraz National Monument, where I am from, that tells the history of a prison system, a systematic prison system, and it's so much is happening right now. And I love that idea that Namvala also underlined, which is that it's going to be a long haul, people, and we need to stay connected to each other and to share the richness of all of our cultures and all of our stories and all of our songs and our poetry. We need to name it with these things and also have that joy, have that. Did you just call it flair? I love that. We need the flair. We need the flair, because we need to be inspiring each other, and as we continue to march and as we continue to act, we're going to need all that joy, and that's what connects us.
And you know, there may be efforts to erase, but we don't disappear.
That's the fierceness. I mean,
Yeah.
just our presence, our necessary presence in these national treasures, we're endowed with the fierceness, as we're just natural opposition to what they're trying to do in these inherently joyful places. So.
Mm.
I got a good one.
You did. Yes. Oh, yes. Wow. I hate to say that it's 9:25 in my
Carry
world,
on.
and that just means I think that we need to be sure with everyone that we let you know what's coming up for the rest of this week, which is just tomorrow. And the person who's going to be with us tomorrow is in the room today, Kim Both, and we're so looking forward, from Vancouver, we're looking forward to seeing and hearing you tomorrow, sharing music from where you're coming from. And she's on my coast, but she's 1,100 or 1,300 miles away from me. So isn't that amazing that Carpe Diem Arts and the Daily Antidote of Song can allow us to gather here together, and that all of you faithful people keep coming to sing with us. It's so healing. It really is healing.
Can we just say a big thank you to Brian the Moose and the nature that surrounds him, and the resistance and the joy and the fierceness that you keep reminding us of, and Aileen for your words and that beautiful, gorgeous song. And I think you're going to lead us into the song that we began with.
Yeah, I'm going to ask everyone here. Can I see the whole room right now? Aaron, can I see everyone? I want to see with a thumbs up, which song of the two I sang today do you feel like ending with? Which one would you like to go out with into your day or your evening or your afternoon?
Do you want us to do a thumbs up or a one hand or two?
Let's see. A one hand. And Emma's Revolution just came into the room too. That's so beautiful. We might have to keep going. So do you want to hear a time for healing? You put your hand up. Oh, that looks like a lot of people. And how about we're gonna rise? Is
The
it
room is
even?
split, Aileen. I think you're going to have to make an executive decision there.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think I'll go back to let's go with the quiet one, and we'll go out together with the quiet one. That's what Jojo recommended.
Is
But
there
maybe
somewhere,
what we could,
before you start, Aileen, is there somewhere where we can hear these songs? I know they might be new, but is there somewhere that you've recorded them that folks can kind of return to them should they need?
Well,
I feel like I need to return to these songs.
I think what
So-
you're going to have to do is return to the daily antidote of song, because this is the very first time that I've sung them in front of anyone besides the people who live in my household. So, and welcome also to, I just saw Pat Humphreys enter the room. So sorry we missed you for most of it. Maybe you were on the live stream, but you can see that your dear friend Brian's in the room too with Warren. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. This has been so wonderful. Thank you to Namvala for hosting, and she's going to say goodbye to each of you individually, so please don't leave when this is over, and let's all sing this one more time together. I assume that Aaron's got the words in the chat so you can follow along if you don't know it by heart by now. And then it's yours, so go out and sing it. We've got a need for healing right now, right now. We've got a need for healing in this world. So many people are hurting. There's so much sorrow and pain. So let your words of healing be spoken. Let's try it with kindness. We've got a need for kindness right now, right now. We've got a need for kindness in this world. So many people are hurting. There's so much sorrow and pain. So let your words of kindness be spoken. This time let's put justice in there. We've got a need for justice right now, right now. We've got a need for justice in this world. So many people are hurting. There's so much sorrow and pain. So let your words of justice be spoken. Compassion. We've got a need for compassion right now, right now. We've got a need for compassion in this world. So many people are hurting. There's so much sorrow and pain. So let your words of compassion be spoken. Mercy. We've got a need for mercy right now, right now. We've got a need for mercy in this world. So many people are hurting. There's so much sorrow and pain. So let your words of mercy be spoken. Let's do outrage one more time. We need it. We've got a need for outrage right now, right now. We've got a need for outrage in this world. So many people are hurting. There's so much sorrow and pain. So let your words of outrage be spoken. There's so much sorrow and pain, so let your words of healing be spoken. Outrage, so let your words of outrage be spoken. Mercy, so let your words of mercy be spoken. Compassion, so let your words of compassion be spoken. Justice, so let your words of justice be spoken. Kindness, so let your words of kindness be spoken. Healing, so let your words of healing be spoken.
Aileen,
Thank you, everybody,
Thank
so
you.
very much.
for being a flare to our weeks and a flare in our lives. Thank you for those words of wisdom and of succor in these times and of beauty. Thank you to Brian for joining us with your words of wisdom and succor. And thank you so much to the Daily Antidote on this day 1812 for making this possible. As always, we're looking forward to seeing Kim Bothan tomorrow from Vancouver. Will be joining us same time, same place. And please all, another thank you to Aileen for her beautiful words and her beautiful songs. Thank you, Aileen, for everything. We're going to wish farewell now to the folks on the live streams on YouTube and on Facebook. And I'm just going to try and make my page larger so I can see everybody and say farewells. So we are going to say farewell to Brian and partner in Indiana. Thank you and good luck, best of luck in the stories and keeping those stories alive. Kim Bothan, who we'll see tomorrow on the Daily Antidote of Song. Farewell to Emma, farewell to Aaron, thank you for the tech and the sound in Brooklyn, New York. Farewell Susan in Cincinnati, Nancy Schimmel, Marion in Brighton, Benet in Berkeley, California, Linda in Orcas Island, Nan Hogan in Michigan, Neil in Boston, farewell Sue in Seattle, Caroline in Idaho, Anne in Silver Spring, Maryland, Julie in Ontario, Clive and Ruth in Birmingham, Annette in California, Jamie Dundas in Victoria, Caroline in DC, Martha in Oregon, Bonnie in Boise, Idaho, Fred Stolnitz in Silver Spring, Linda in Massachusetts. Farewell to, where are we? Hoda in British Columbia, Bob, Mabel and the Bears in Massachusetts, Sheila in Florida, David and Elsie in Oaktown, Kathleen in Albuquerque, Marcia in Ontario, Trish in Victoria, BC, Sarah in Texas, Bob in Albany, Athena in Brooklyn, Phil in Totnes down south from me, farewell Cricket in Maryland, Linda in California, Deli in Maryland, Aloysius in Massachusetts. Farewell to Christine in Ottawa, Ariana in LA, Jojo who's driving, maybe still in Florida, Jenny in Suffolk, Arlene Baxter in Berkeley, and I think I've caught everybody, but thank you once again for joining us, beautiful people, and singing these songs of resistance with Aileen. Thank you all. Go well into your days and your evenings, and see you tomorrow for day 1813 of the Daily Antidote of Song.
Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you so much to Namvala.